Hey everybody, gonna wait here to see if Trisha hops on, or not if Trisha hops on, when Trisha hops on. I'm really excited to do this live tonight. This is something new for us, so super excited. There is Trisha. I need to bring her on. Yes, I want to. All right, we're gonna get going here pretty quick as soon as Trisha hops on. Super excited to do this live. Yay, there she is.
Hey,
How are you?
good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I love this feature though. I have a second phone that's a lot smaller. So whenever I do these live videos on it, literally all I can see is this part of myself because everything else is covered up by who's watching, which is super awesome, by the way, you guys. I love seeing lots of people watching these because I just think, I know Trisha, you like the live videos, so do I. I just think that people get so much more out of it, the emotion, the passion, all of it, I think it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, I know it's go time, so to speak, and I was gonna get on our live here real quick and do a share so folks would join us. Trying to find it though is kind of a difficult thing. Good grief. Well, maybe I can't see it because we're doing it right now. I don't know. Hit the share button, guys. Invite your friends. That's kind of the fun part about all of this is it's a public event, and we were talking about doing this. I know, Trisha, you started doing this a week or two ago, and I watched all of them. I think they've just been really, really fun. And I was anxious when Trisha asked me if I wanted to do one. I was like, absolutely, because I wouldn't be where I'm at had she not shared about Thrive. And that's really what this is all about. But we kind of wanted to boil it down a little bit and really talk about the truth of the product and of the business and maybe share a few things we haven't before and whatnot. So Trisha, I'll let you kind of take it away if you want, or I can start, or whatever.
Okay, so thanks, Cheyenne, for joining me and doing this with me. Like I said, these are fun, and I feel like people can relate to us better when they can see us face to face and see our reactions and see our passion and why we love the Thrive experience so much and what this business has brought to you and me and our families and what that really looks like. So I started Thriving back in May of 2014. So I'm coming up on my 4-year anniversary. And you guys, to be honest, I hit that promoter button out of a favor to my friend so she could hit those bonuses within this company that is available to anybody that joins Le-Vel as a promoter. You have 14 days to earn $1,300 in cash bonuses. If that is important to you or if that's something that you want to go for. And my friend was going for that bonus. So I hit that brand promoter button because I felt secure in what she was saying to me when she said, you don't have to do anything with this business if you don't want to. Push the promoter button, order your product, start your Thrive experience. And if you happen to build a business, awesome. If you don't, Le-Vel cares. All they really care about is that you're thriving and feeling better. And the opportunity is there for you if you want it. And you guys, I didn't want the opportunity. I wanted nothing to do with the opportunity. Really, I just wanted to take that product and feel amazing, which I was. Day one, took that product, felt something, but can't really explain it. It was a good, weird feeling. Day two, I took that product, felt the exact same way, but I noticed that I didn't have a headache that day, which was not my normal, and I didn't have a drop of coffee, which was not my normal either. And that just made me feel really excited. I felt great, and I wanted to start sharing with people already what I was experiencing. And so back to that trust thing of her, when she said, go ahead, hit that promoter button. I did it as a favor. I was going to start my Thrive experience. I trusted her when she said, it's a free opportunity. So what does that really look like? Free opportunity. It's free to be a brand promoter. You don't pay for your website. There's no annual membership fee. You don't have to sell so much of the Thrive experience. All the tools are handed to you right then and there to help you build a business. And I felt like I was getting wrangled into something that I wasn't going to be able to get myself out of. So as I was thriving and feeling great. You guys, I couldn't keep my mouth shut about how great I was feeling. And I know Cheyenne felt the same way when she shares her story, because she called me up and was like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? I was just feeling so, so great. And I was sharing it with my friends and family. And I was sharing it with my clients, who happened, you know, a new client every 30, 45 minutes in my chair. And I just could not shut up about it. Like, I was energized. I was coming out of my shell. You guys, I loved my job as a hairdresser, but to be perfectly honest, I've been doing that for 21 years. I was tired. I was tired and I was exhausted, and I had come to kind of resent my job for the lack of being exhausted. And so I was, like I said, I was coming out of my shell. My clients could see it in me. They could see how I was interacting with them more. I had a smile on my face. I wasn't, while they were processing their color, I wasn't jetting off to the back to sit down and slug some coffee and try to get away. I was sitting down in front of them and having a conversation. And so it was something that was really, really easy to share. And like I said, people could see it all over my face, and they were asking me, my God, Trisha, your skin is glowing. You seem like you're more with it. You look great. What are you doing? Oh my God, I am thriving. Have you never heard of it? You need to thrive with me. And that's all it really took, you guys, for me to build a business that I didn't want anything to do with. So that's, so as I was sharing and building a business without even realizing I was building a business, my friend who shared the Thrive experience with me called me up and asked me to go to a local where I could learn more, hear more Thrive experiences live. And I decided to do that again, you guys, as a favor to her. It was a way for me to get away from my kids, away from my husband, get out. It was at a wine bar. Sure, who wouldn't want to go? So I went to that local with no expectation that I was really going to learn anything. Still had that skeptical thing in my head. And you guys, lots of people have that skepticism when it comes to network marketing, direct sales. And shame on me for not educating myself about what that really is and what that can do for families. Like, it's really, really crazy. So I went to that local, and you guys, the stories were amazing. If you've ever been to one, you should really check one out. They are amazing. And to listen to those people talk about how 3 simple steps had changed their lives. They were sleeping better. They had more energy. They were engaging with their kids. They were losing weight. Their aches and discomforts were going away. Like, all these things were really, really amazing. But I'll tell you, the one thing that made me drop my skepticism about the business opportunity, the one thing that made me really want to dive into this, and I'll admit it's a little bit self-serving, but it was when a gentleman stood up in front of that room and he was sharing his Thrive experience. And he was a rancher outside of Billings here, I think in Bridger. He had 3 girls, I believe, around my age, had been sharing the Thrive experience for 6 weeks. And he got a notification on his phone that he had just earned the auto bonus with the company. This company has an amazing auto bonus program. And he looked down on his phone and he announced it in front of that room. And there was about 8 people there, 8 to 10 people at that local. And I was blown away. Like, I was flabbergasted. I was like, how could someone share this product in 6 weeks time and earn a auto bonus with this company? Like, who does that happen to? Nobody I ever knew. It was the people that you saw in the magazines or this whatever. Like, it just didn't happen. And I just sat there and was like, what would that look like for me? What would that look like for my family if we no longer had to worry about a car payment? And so people were asking him, they were excited for him, and people were asking, my word, how did you do that in 6 weeks? Like, how did you earn that auto bonus in 6 weeks time? And you guys, I'll never forget what he said. It wasn't like this magical number, this like huge formula. Like, he just said, you know what? I started my Thrive experience. I'm feeling better than I've ever thought possible. And I'm telling every single person I come in contact with. That is how I earn my auto bonus. And I thought, well, oh my God, I'm already doing that. Like I'm already sharing with people how awesome I'm feeling. People are going to my website and ordering, and I don't even really know that I'm building a business. And I thought, you know what? It's time for me to really pay attention here. This opportunity, basically, you guys fell into my lap. And that's what really spurred me into action to take this more seriously. You guys, it has always started with those 3 simple steps: the capsules, the lifestyle mix, and the DFT. Like that's where it has always started. And that's where it always ends today. It's because of those 3 simple products that we decide to put into our bodies every single morning and that we share with people. That's what gets us to where we want to be. And for me, it's helping people to realize that there is a simpler and easier way to feel better. Like just because you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever age you are, and whatever you're dealing with, that doesn't have to be your reality. Like we were meant to feel so much better. So that's kind of my story about how I kind of got into this business and how skeptical I was of building a home-based business. You guys, I get to build this business in the comfort of my home, on my computer, on my cell phone, buying groceries. I can work my business wherever I'm at, sitting at the gym while my son's playing basketball, on vacation with my family. I get to still be in control of my business. I don't have to work a 9-to-5 job, and I'm not knocking 9-to-5 jobs. I mean, that's how people provide for their families. But my side business that I was so skeptical about turned into my full-time passion and my full-time business, and got me out of doing hairdressing, which I loved, which I thought I would be doing to the day that I die. But it's just pretty amazing. So Cheyenne, I'm going to turn it back over to you and let you kind of share your story a little bit.
Awesome. Well, and through you sharing is basically how I found out about this, you guys. I actually have been thriving now just about 3.5 years. And I made a joke about it. I hate saying 3 years, 5 months, however many weeks. So at the beginning of May, it's going to be 3.5 years for me. But there's always a story about how we heard about this product and how we came to thrive. As you heard Trisha's story, my story is a little bit different from that. I know Trisha because we grew up in a tiny little town in southeastern Montana called Terry. And our families had been longtime residents there. And so we knew each other. I was older than she was in school, but we had that trust factor because we both came from ranching families. We knew each other, even though our lives went different directions. We had a lot of similarities, which is kind of fun. She, was a cosmetologist. I had gone to cosmetology school. We had a lot of things, and what I really enjoyed was I happened upon this product. But as I tell people, I really truly think Thrive finds each of us for a reason. And what we choose to do with that gift is entirely up to each of us. As you heard Trisha say, she heard about it. She wanted to feel better. She trusted her friend. She jumped into this and then went to a local and decided to look at the business side of this seriously. I personally am a 5th-generation cattle rancher. I live in the middle of nowhere in South Dakota on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. For those of you who know where that is, it's a very desolate place. That's what I will say. It's the poorest per capita area in the United States. So that is where I lived. But with the beauty of social media, I was able to be on Facebook one day and happened to see Trisha post about energy. Well, earlier I had turned 40 years old, and I don't know about you guys, if you're at 40 or not, or if you're above that age, you probably know what I'm talking about. It was like my get up and go had got up and went. And that's really what I tell people. It was a culmination of things, but I had no energy. I mean, the minute I got up in the morning, it wasn't so much about getting up. I've always been a person that was ready to attack my day. I just found it was getting harder and harder and harder every day. And I would actually wince thinking about my feet hitting the floor because I had aches and discomforts in my body. I mean, living a lifetime of a cowgirl and a rancher, you don't get by without some bumps and bruises. And that's basically where I was at. My son was also 5 years old at the time, so I was busy keeping up with him. I was not doing a good job there. My housework was kind of by the wayside because I just didn't have the energy to keep up with it anymore. And I kind of just said to heck with it, in all truth. A lot of the things that I was enjoying was starting to be very tasking to me. Riding my horses, competing in women's ranch rodeo events. It was really at the time I was thinking seriously about hanging it up, literally, because it would take me so long to recover from those weekends of dogging steers down, tying them up, you know, working out on the ranch, whatever I was doing, that I just was really thinking that this is the end of the road for me. And that's a really scary situation when you're only 40 years old and you feel like you're 80. So I saw Trisha on Facebook, and again, we hadn't chatted in a long time, maybe bits and pieces, but we weren't bosom buddies or anything like that. And I saw her talking about energy, and truthfully, that was really what grabbed my attention, because I'll tell you what, if you don't have energy and, you know, your good health, you don't have anything. And that's where I was at. I felt like everything was 10 times harder than it needed to be. So I reached out to her. This was June 2014, you guys, and Trisha had only been thriving probably a month, I suppose. Maybe not even a month when we chatted, because you're 4 years coming up at the end of May, right? So basically, I remember that first message, and I knew her well enough. I just said, hey, tell me about Thrive, you know, and she proceeded to tell me about it. And I was so excited just with the short, you know, things she was telling me, that I decided to dive in with a taste test. Now, you guys, I have to say, I am a very skeptical person, and now I am less skeptical than I've ever been in my life, I guess, because I honestly never thought of health and wellness. I am a cattle rancher. I'm a cowgirl. I don't do that kind of stuff. Trisha is a monster in the gym. Like, I'm watching her and I'm just so impressed by what she does. You know, I'm active on the ranch too. We throw hay bales around instead of weights, you know, like we're riding horses instead of running on the track. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I have never had that kind of a emphasis in my life. So when it came to health and wellness, that was like the furthest. You would see me over here and you would see health and wellness over here. So I didn't even ask her what the product was. I needed it so bad, I didn't care what it was. And that is funny to me that I didn't even ask her. So when it came in the mail, basically I got this packet from her. It was capsules, lifestyle mix, and a DFT. And there was directions in there too. But hey, I'm 40. I know it all, right? I threw the directions to the side and I just dove right in. And guess what? I didn't like it because I didn't follow the directions. And so she followed up with me and she was like, how's it going? And I'm like, you know, this just isn't going to work for me. And I'm sure she was like, oh, this is amazing and you just need to trust the process. But I wasn't hearing it. I was hard-headed and skeptical. So I just told her, thank you, but no thank you. And we went our separate ways. Now, ranch rodeo season was going in full swing, you guys. It was June. And I'll tell you what, 5 months went by. I have never felt so horrible in my entire life. I literally felt like I was 80 years old. And I'm not joking about that. I was worried about myself. My husband and I had had some conversations and I'm like, I don't think it's normal for someone like me to feel this badly all the time. And I'm faking it. I'm putting the smile on and I'm out there spreading cheer and happy faces, but that's not really how I feel. And all of a sudden, well, really, I was at the Women's Ranch Rodeo Finals and a friend of mine, her horse had fallen down on her in the arena. And we were headed home from the World Finals the next day. And I happened to look on my phone and there was my cowgirl friend raving about how awesome she felt and how she wasn't sore. She felt amazing, yada, yada. And I'm like, what that? And I'm reading this. And at the end, she says, wow, that Thrive is everything they say it is. My mind exploded. And who did I message immediately after I read that? Trisha, immediately. And I remember, like, literally, if this could have been a cartoon, I would have been on my hands and knees going, please, can I please try this again? And I never use the word try anymore. I did in those early days because I was expecting something monumental in those early days. right? Like, I think most of us do. We expect a quick fix for all the bad living that we've done over the years. You guys, I was 40 years old, living on coffee and creamer. I was living on Coca-Cola and Doritos and whatever else. Yes, we raise our own beef. Yes, I eat fruit and vegetables, but I ate a whole lot of crap in there too. And I know you do too, because that's us as Americans. Unless you're already a thriver and you're really serious about what you're putting into your body, you're doing those things. I know it because I was that person. So when I finally got a hold of Trisha and we connected, and I swore to God I'd follow the directions, because that's what she made me do. She said, I'll send this to you, but you have to do the directions. It's simple. 3 simple steps. First thing in the morning, you're done for the day, and that's it. And I'm like, that's it? Okay, I can do that. I am desperate. And I was desperate for this. So what do you know? It arrives on my doorstep, and I read the directions, and I'm blown away by how simple it is. This is beginning of November, and I took the capsules, the lifestyle mix. We went out feeding, and it was like I was seeing color for the first time in a very long time. Like, I just felt different. Like Trisha said, you can't really explain it. You can't put your finger on it, but I knew I felt different. And I was really excited because when I went home that day, feeding cattle is something that takes up most of our day. You trudge in about 1, 2 o'clock, you haven't eaten lunch, you're starving, you eat something, you go out, you work some more, you come back in, you got to make supper, you know, and you're dog tired. I wasn't dog tired that night, you guys. I made supper, I did the dishes, I put them away. I think I even swept the floor, did laundry, was folding clothes. I was doing more in that day than I had done literally, I don't even know how long. A couple of months, and I'm being serious here. So that is why my brain just was like, whoa. And Trisha's right. I immediately called her the next morning because I had the best night's sleep I'd ever had in my life that night. Literally, like, I had been sleeping so poorly. And I jumped out of bed the next morning, and believe me, I hadn't jumped anywhere in a very long time. Sadly, as that sounds, that's the truth. And I messaged her and I just said, how can I get involved with this? Because I need to tell every single person about this. And that is how it started. And basically, I got on the phone with Trisha's sponsor, the gal who had gotten her started. The 3 of us were chatting. I signed up immediately as a free brand promoter. You guys, I had no experience in network marketing. And Trisha is right. I didn't know what that was. I envisioned I was going to have to go door to door selling vacuum cleaners. That is not what this is. This is sharing a product like that rancher said when he earned his car. When something literally grabs you by the collar and just makes you come to life, you're like, I got to tell everybody about this because I know they don't know, and everyone deserves to feel this good. And that's what this is. Now, what I've learned, though, is those early days were amazing, but it has never compared to 3.5 years later. I still feel amazing. So does Trisha. I mean, I compare my before and after picture, you guys. I'm sorry, but pictures do speak 1,000 words. Look at that person. You can tell my smile is fake. The look in my eyes says it all. And then you look at this person, and I have to say, I do look better than that now, because this was taken, and I'm not being, ooh, look at me. I'm just saying, I'm 40, almost 45 years old, you guys. And I feel better now than I felt in my 20s. Hello. If I only had the 40-year-old brain when I was 20, I would have been doing good. But the point of me showing you that picture is that I never did this for a diet. I, if anything, wanted to get rid of the whole diet mentality, because you guys, that is such a vicious roller coaster of bullshit lies. I'm just going to say it the way it is. I'm a pretty straight shooter. The hate yourself, love yourself, ridiculous wheel that we're on. Oh, I'm going to lose 5 pounds. Oh, I got this party coming up. I got to lose 10 pounds. Oh, this wedding's this summer. I got to lose 15 pounds. Oh, I'm going to buy this pair of pants a size smaller, and I'm going to force myself into them. You guys, nobody needs to live like that. I did for 30 years of my life, and I was over it. That's not what Thrive is. Thrive is literally filling your body with premium grade nutrition so it can run the way it's supposed to. Meaning, at 44 years old, I have a better metabolism than I had when I was 20. I sleep better than I ever have. I don't have mom fog in my brain. I don't go in the next room and go, what was I in here for? You know, if I forget my grocery list at home, I still remember what I'm supposed to get. I went from the self-loathing to loving myself and really wanting to help others with this product. And, you know, Trisha and I, along with, you know, promoting this, I had no expectations coming into this. I had zero experience, but I had found a product that I was really excited about. I loved that it was made in America. I loved that it was plant-based, that I could proudly put my name on this product and this company. And I just started sharing, you guys. And the company is so amazing because they offer us amazing bonuses in our first 2 weeks when we join. I mean, there's no other company that I know out there that offers you the opportunity to earn anywhere from around $600 to $1,300 in your first 2 weeks simply for sharing. I don't know companies that give out free iPad minis when you earn them in your first 30 days. Or that auto bonus that Trisha was talking about. And I know she's too humble to tell you this, but she earned hers in 21 days, you guys. I was following on her coat sleeves and I did it in 23. But the truth be known, I had known Trisha all my life. You know, like I said, we weren't keeping up. But I will be honest about something. Call it the competitive spirit in myself or whatever. Trisha was a real normal person that I knew. We came from humble beginnings in a small town. I knew her, I trusted her, but I looked at Trisha and I appreciated what she had accomplished here. And I knew that if she could do this in this business and have success, that I could too. And the amazing thing is that she was my partner in all of this. I mean, we basically locked arms from the very beginning, and we have just had a blast doing this. It's fun. We've gotten friends all over the United States. We have people in Australia, New Zealand, Mexico, Canada, United Kingdom. I mean, they are everywhere, you guys. And the fun thing is we're just sharing because this product absolutely changes lives. And we wouldn't be doing this live video spewing a bunch of, you know, falsehoods if it wasn't true. I will say this, though. Thrive will not work for you in 2 cases. Now, remember me on first try, I didn't read the directions and I didn't follow them. I knew better, right? Like I've been living for 40 years the wrong way and I feel like crap, but I'm not going to follow the directions. That was me. Or you don't give it enough time. Because seriously, you guys, if you're expecting a miracle overnight, you may as well just not try anything because there is no such thing. And I'm just giving you a little truth bomb here. It takes time to undo the damage that we've done to ourselves. Some of us have nutritional gaps that are like the Grand Canyon, you know. Some of us have gaps that aren't like that. But what I'm saying is that what Trisha might have felt and what I might have felt could be entirely different from what you feel. But I do confidently say this: it isn't if the Thrive experience works for you, it's when. And the promoting side of this, you guys, of us coming from a town of 600 people. I will never forget when I messaged Trisha last year about this time, and I said, do you realize that my team, and I don't mean just me, I mean me on down, I mean over 6,500 brand promoters, we have sold $10 million in product. In what was that, 2.5 years then, just about? You guys, my mind was blown, and it's all because this product is absolutely life-changing, and we love it. We can't picture ourselves do anything. So I do believe Thrive finds each of us for a reason, and what we choose to do with it is entirely up to us. We're just 2 girls that decided that this was something that everyone deserves in their life. They might not know it yet, but that's why we keep sharing the way we do. So back to you, Trisha.
Yeah, I was going to just ask you and make a statement. And you were talking about fads and diets, and doesn't it feel good to no longer be on that roller coaster or that yo-yo of gain 5 pounds, lose 10, gain 20, like all those weird, crazy things that are out there, you guys? Like if someone's offering you a product, lose 14, 20 pounds in a week, you guys run for the mountains. Like that's not what this is. If you think you're going to come in and you want to lose all this weight in 10 days, like that's not what Thrive is. Like it's completely opposite of that. And it just feels good to wake up every single morning, put those 3 things in your body. You know that those 3 things are giving your body what it truly needs to run on a premium level, at an optimal level. And then the rest is up to you. Like no matter what your goals are, Thrive is a tool to help you achieve whatever that is, like whatever you're dealing with. I never expected, like Cheyenne said, when I started my Thrive experience, the bullet point for me was energy. Like that's all I cared about. My headaches, my digestive issues, my overconsumption of coffee, me not sleeping well at night, the aches and discomforts in my neck and shoulders from standing, cutting hair 21 years. Like I cared about those things, but I didn't think Thrive was going to help me with those things. Like it was just the energy. And so when I started thriving and all these things started to get better, and I was like, what is going on? Like, how could this possibly be helping me with X, Y, and Z? Like the benefits are just completely amazing. And Cheyenne says, well, look at Trisha, she's a beast in the gym. Like, you guys, I'm going to be completely honest. Before Thrive, like I was always trim or slender. I liked working out. I liked fitness. But there were years that kind of went by the wayside because I just didn't have the energy. I was hurting. I was tired. I was grouchy. I was not in a good place. So that went by the wayside. And when I started thriving and the energy and just the confidence and just that whole thing, like Cheyenne said, it just totally changes every aspect of your life. And I got back into the gym. Thrive helped me do that. Like without Thrive, I couldn't be a beast in the gym. Like it's awesome. It just really is awesome to know that, again, gonna be 40, I don't even know how old I am, gonna be 44 years old, and I can get up and kill it at Orange Theory like nobody's business. That feels really, really good. Not sitting on the couch complaining about how bad I hurt, how tired I am, sucking back lattes and energy drinks and being lazy. Like that didn't feel good. I didn't want that anymore. And so going back to that business part, Cheyenne, it's so funny is like you came into this and you didn't know. I didn't know either. Like who knew? Who knew? Right? And a lot of people come into this and they're so scared because they're like, I'm not a salesman. I can't sell anything. You know what? You don't have to sell a dang thing. Like you couldn't outsell Thrive if you tried. Like the product sells itself. All you have to do is get that product into people's hands and let them experience it for themselves. Like Thrive will work every single time. Like Cheyenne said, is if you're taking it correctly, you know, and how it was intended to be taken. If you're doing those things, it's going to work, and not going in with the expectation that your world is going to be rocked and you're totally going to be transformed in 3 days. Like Thrive doesn't work like that. And a company doesn't sell $1 billion in what, 4.5, 5 years, whatever that number is. If the products don't work, like it's a no-brainer, right? I mean, the products work. And this company is amazing. And this company is so generous and just gives to its promoters. And whatever that looks like for you, your goals, your aspirations, your side business, whatever you're wanting, like we can help you do that, you know?
Totally. I think it's funny that you said that because I know you had high hopes for me, you know, when we first started this conversation, and then it was like, I don't like it. And you're like, ah. But when I came back to it, it was like ignorance on fire. Literally, you guys, I didn't even know how good this was. I mean, I had been feeling so bad for so long that any little glimmer of feeling better felt like a total, eureka to me. And so when I did dive into this, that's exactly, I looked around myself and I was like, who's thriving? I'm like, well, that one cowgirl friend of mine, but aside from that, I don't know anybody who's doing this. And you know what? This stuff is amazing, and I want to tell every single person I know about this. And it was about that. You know, I came into this wanting energy. I needed to lose weight. I needed to have some joint support for those aches and discomforts. I needed better sleep. I needed mood support. I needed, you know, all of those things. Like Trisha said, I had no idea that it was going to help with all of those things. You guys, I literally when we're out putting salt blocks out and stuff out on the ranch, I can jump off the back of the pickup and land on the ground and stand up and walk away. You do not know how huge that is at almost 45 years of age. My knees didn't like that before, if you catch my drift. Riding my horse, I literally, when I would go to get off of my horse before Thrive, I would literally hang on to the saddle horn and I would slide down to the ground and let my feet gently touch the ground and put my weight on my legs and then sit there and wait for the hurt, because that is really how bad off I was. And we don't talk about those things a lot. Like, we don't talk about, you know, myself too, with the business side of this, you guys. I went through a bankruptcy before Lavelle found me. And that's not something I'm very proud of, but it's something that I like to share once in a while because it's a totally real sort of situation for me. And when you're a cattle rancher, you get people who say they live paycheck to paycheck. We live paycheck to paycheck, you guys, but we get one paycheck per year. One. So you can imagine how tiny that dollar was stretched at the end of the year. So when Lavelle came in and I had an opportunity to join for free, just get my products, get going, start sharing with people, and boom, I could already make $600 to $1,300 in my first 2 weeks. My husband literally stared dumbfounded at my paycheck the first week. He's like, "You actually made that money?" Like, he was being serious. He wasn't being smart about it. He's like, "You actually made that money?" Because it was spending money that I normally did. I didn't make money. How can I have a job way out in the middle of nowhere in the prairie? You can't unless it's a cloud-based business like Lavelle. This is all I need to do my business right here, you guys, is my smartphone. That's it. I don't have to have a laptop if I don't want. I don't have to be amongst a million people. I do welcome calls, validation calls. I talk to Trisha. Sometimes I'm on my horse. I got a headset I wear once in a while. You can go do that when you're running, walking, waiting for my son going to school. I get to pick him up. I get to have time freedom. I get to run my business while I'm watching him swim. Or if he's at a little rodeo this summer, I'm still working my business because that's what I choose to do. I have time freedom. I understand now what financial freedom means. It means that I'm not freaking out the last 3 months of the year because we're out of money and I don't even know how we're going to buy groceries. Like, really, that's where we were. Our car payment is paid for. Actually, my husband and I both get that. So that's a huge blessing to our family. I know Trisha and her husband enjoy that benefit as well. So your spouses can join you in this business for free. Family members can join. And it's really awesome when you can see people feeling better than they've ever felt in their life. We've got so many amazing stories on our team too of single moms who now don't have to, you know, pinch pennies at the grocery store, or they can pay all of their bills when they come in. You know, you guys, that is to me what financial freedom is. It doesn't mean I'm hopping off to Paris every year. It doesn't mean that to me. What it means though is if the cattle market's in the toilet, I don't have to freak out quite as bad as I would have before. You know, like, we are creating a legacy for ourselves, and it isn't at the mercy of whoever the boss is ahead of me, right? I'm the CEO of my own business. Trisha's the CEO of her own business. Many of you watching are already thrivers, you're brand promoters, or maybe you're just kind of curious what it is we really do, because I get that all the time. I'll be around our town here and people see me driving my car, and of course it's got graphics on it and stuff, and they're curious. They're like, "Well, what do you do? Like, do you work?" I mean, because what, you're always everywhere. I'm like, "I'm working all the time." And they kind of look at me and they're like, "Yeah, whatever." I'm like, "No, I'm serious. Like, I'm working right now. I could get a call right now and I'm working, but I could maybe not get a call for 2 hours and I'll go shopping, or I'll go get my groceries, or I'll go mow the yard, or whatever." They don't understand it because so many people are caught on that wheel, the wheel of the whole, I have a boss, I have to do this and that. And you know, I was there too, you guys. I've worked before. Trisha worked before, but she owned her own salon. But sometimes being the business owner is the scarier thing because she had all those bills to worry about and everything else, you know. Here, we're sharing a product for free. We get our own products for free. That's something that a lot of us enjoy too as brand promoters. You can as a customer too. I never, ever, ever in a million years envisioned my life now. And I always tell Trisha, thank you so much for sharing with me, But the truth is, we are all on our own destiny, right? Like, you can use these products and love them, and perhaps you will, well, no, it isn't perhaps. You will discover how amazing you can feel, better than ever. Maybe you want to promote, and maybe you want to help change other people's lives. Maybe you want to be rewarded handsomely for that, because that is the reality of what this is. It's time freedom, it's financial freedom, it's also building up a motivational mindset that I never knew before this company, before these amazing people that I'm surrounded by. And it's really changed my outlook on life. I am no longer just a product of my environment. I am actually creating my environment as I want it to be. My son is benefiting from that. My husband is benefiting from that. We are creating the life of our dreams. We are living the life that we deserve, and you can too. It's all a matter of being open-minded, maybe saying what if, because that's what I did. And you know, the bottom line is if you're not willing to change, like, all truth, you guys, don't expect your life to either. I had to be willing to want to change. Remember, I threw that first thing in the garbage and thought Thrive was ridiculous. I revisited it because I was desperate, and I somehow had a belief system that I did. It was intervention, I think. I don't know what else to say. And Trisha was so kind and open to me, and she was hopeful for me. I know she wanted to help me. I know she knew that this was what I needed. I just didn't know it, and I wasn't having it. I was like, oh, I don't need that. Yeah, I see you with your posts and on Facebook, and you're thriving, and oh, yay, that's wonderful. You guys, we're not being cheeky. This is really how we feel. It's not an act. You can ask anybody that's around us every single day. They see how we really are. They see that we're thriving literally in all aspects of life. And you can call it cliche or, wow, that's a little too much. That is the reality. That is our reality. And it can be your reality too. Literally, this is what it is. I don't ever apologize for being passionate about this product or this business, because I never knew what was going to happen here. And if it can happen for me, and if it can happen for Trisha, I mean, 2 girls out of a 600-person town who are now considered LaVelle millionaires. We get our awards next weekend in New Orleans. I'm so excited. That is a lifetime dream, you guys. Well, here's a statistic, Trisha, and then I'm going to pass it back to you because I'm getting mouthy, lippy, wordy. Wrap your head around this for a minute, you guys. I've had one job in the last 12 years. When Shane and I first moved down here to Chadron, or to South Dakota, I came to Chadron every day, and I worked in an insurance office. And what I got paid was adequate. You know, it was adequate. But I'm going to tell you a figure, and it is mind-blowing to me. Compared to that job, and compared to what I've done in LaVelle in 3.5 years, what myself and our team have accomplished, it would have taken me 50 years of working at that insurance office to equal what has been done here in 3 years and 3 months. So that is the reality and the truth of it, you guys. And it wouldn't be because, like Trisha said, if this product didn't work, if we didn't have our heart in the right place, and if we really didn't want to help people change their lives, none of this would be possible. So I'm forever grateful for Thrive and for LaVelle. It absolutely has been such a life changer. So back to you, Trisha.
Thank you, Cheyenne. Thanks for joining me on this call tonight. I really appreciate it. Love sharing our stories. And like Cheyenne said, if you're just looking for the opportunity to feel amazing, feel better than you ever thought possible, like the Thrive experience is for you. Or if you're looking at this as like, you know what, I want to feel great, but I'd like to help other people feel better too. I'd like to earn some time freedom, some financial security. That looks very appealing to me. Like, reach out to us, reach out to the person that you see thriving in your area, that you maybe who's been reaching out to you month after month and saying, why aren't you thriving with me yet? Are you going to thrive with me yet? Reach out to those people. They would love to help you get started on your Thrive experience, show you how easy this side business can be. That's one of the things that was very appealing to me once I set my skepticism aside, is that I didn't have to do this by myself. I think it goes the same for Cheyenne. Like, you guys, I didn't do this all by myself. Like, I had a string of upline people helping me at every little phone call text that I had. I have a whole organization underneath me. Like, I didn't reach the top rank in the company all by myself. It was those people that I introduced to the Thrive experience that I got feeling better, that had the same vision that I had, is like, let's go out and help people feel better. You don't do it on your own. So that's kind of what I wanted to end this call with, is like, it's a whole big old Thrive nation. Thrive Army is what they say. That's really what it is. For real. So thank you, Cheyenne. Thank you guys for hopping on, and get with that person who is trying to help you feel better, who has maybe shared the business opportunity with you, and just get rolling. Right, Cheyenne?
Heck yes. Yeah, you're 3 steps away from feeling your best ever. That's basically it. And that's what we always tell everybody. It isn't if, it's when. So we hope to have you thriving with us soon. And if you already are, you know what we're talking about.
Awesome. Thanks, Cheyenne.
Thank you, Trisha. Bye, guys. Yeah.